reason, it's hard to see. It's hard to write. You're walking on the story. All right, we all love our Paris figure skating. For its flair, its romance, its drama, but what would it look like if we were to Photoshop the men out? Now take a look. The ladies seemingly do it all. There they are, twirling, twisting, stretching. That would be impossible. Some even laying on their backs midair. Husband says that when you take out the guys, the ladies look like superheroes, which, I mean, come on, they basically are, aren't they? That's pretty amazing. That's cool. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to go along to me. How do you pass the time? Because we're Candy Crush. Here's what one cartoonist did during his 40-minute train ride. Joe Busher is having a little fun with his fellow passengers. Imagine that's so popular. There are two characters. Here's Larry Bird, and Waldo, the Hulk. He's telling TV.com that no one has ever thought him a laugh. He calls himself the poster ninja.
That's pretty hard.
Okay.
Mr. Illustrator.
That's the Nutrisystem. Let's break it down. We get delicious meals designed to speed up your weight loss and give you a great start now. Superpowered shakes that'll boost your metabolism and crush those cravings. And you won't get hungry because Nutrisystem has your back. They'll crush the cravings before they ever get to you.
Call now to order your 28-day highway plan and we'll rush you the all-new Fast 5 free. Get 1 week of energizing shakes, 1 week of craving crusher shakes, and a bonus week of meals absolutely free. Lose 5 pounds in your first week or your money back guarantee.
Come on, guys, get back in the game and call now.
Call 877-324-DIET and lose 5 pounds free.
Ameriprise asks people a simple question. In retirement, will you outlive your life?
No, that can't happen. That's the thing. I mean, you don't know how long it lasts.
Everyone has retirement questions, so Ameriprise created the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach. Now you, your Ameriprise advisor, can get the real answers you need. Start building your confident retirement today.
They always make their point and push the issue. This is The Five. Powerful opinions and straight talk. Join The Five weeknights on Fox News.
All across the world, folks are looking to a place that's warm and friendly, with a beach attached. That's when we come in, from the sand to the city, a town on the edge of something big. You can just be yourself. Come on down and try Hollywood, Florida's hometown beach town.
How you put the power in powerful cardiac care. At Alexian Brothers, we do it with some of the most advanced heart procedures in the nation, from minimally invasive to highly complex surgeries, with non-invasive early detection and faster treatment, and programs recognized for superior outcomes led by highly skilled cardiac specialists. And we do it with passion to provide the best heart care close to home. Alexian Brothers Cardiovascular Institute. Our passion is powerful medicine.
In the middle of this snowstorm, now there's a manhunt for 2 jail escapees considered armed and dangerous. Authorities looking for Chad Everett Dasher, Raymond Thomas Smith. They broke out of a county jail in Georgia about 2 weeks ago using homemade tools to cut through barriers and get to the roof, where they were able to jump over a fence and get away. It was several hours before authorities had realized that they were gone.
Well, 65 prisoners in Afghanistan, some blamed for deadly attacks on Americans, just walked free. Gates of the prison opened for these folks. Hamid Karzai, the Afghan president, ordered their release weeks ago, despite the protests that came from the U.S. military on this. Former Homeland Security Secretary Tom Ridge commented on Karzai's decision earlier this week.
I think we're going on road for quite some time. I think we can do much. As long as we have to do it. I mean, the election is in April, and what bothers me more than anything else is that, frankly, we shouldn't be surprised at this conduct. There hasn't been any public challenge to any of his anti-American statements for the past couple of years from anybody.
Interesting comments from Tom Ridge there. Leland Bitter joins us now. He's live in our Middle East Bureau with more.
morning, Martha. Off the record, the U.S. military isn't just angry, they are furious about this. These are prisoners they believe have American blood on their hands. They blame them for the death of at least 32 members of the U.S. military and coalition forces. One of them was evidently one of the key Taliban explosives experts that they linked to a number of the roadside bombs and that kind of thing. They say releasing these prisoners right now is just a free pass for them to return to the battlefield and once again try to kill Afghan civilians, Afghan soldiers, and parts of the security forces there, and then also try to attack Americans who are still there in the country. It's important to understand the timing of this. About a year and a half ago, President Karzai demanded from the United States to be able to take over holding prisoners that had been grabbed by the United States military during operations against suspected militants. He was granted that permission on the sole basis that he promised not to release anyone unless they had approval from the United States government and from the military commanders on the ground there in Afghanistan. Clearly, today's actions releasing these prisoners flies right in the face of that agreement. Martha?
I mean, truly, as you say, a brazen move on their part. And you wonder how much leverage there even is in this situation, as Tom Ridge also indicated. Leland, thank you very much.
Come on, Bijou. Come on, Bijou.
It is strong, it's powerful, it's on the move, it's arriving in the Northeast now. Live picture from Philadelphia. Philly could get 8 to 10 inches of snow when it's all done. And several major cities, the population base in America up and down the East Coast is going to get hit by this thing. So we're live outside again in a moment on that. Also this, Martha.
And the ground, look at this. Opening up, these are Corvettes. These are classic Corvettes that fell into a sinkhole. I mean, this is a bad day at work if you show up at the museum, right? We're going to tell you exactly what happened. More details on that when we come back. Oh, ever seen a grown man cry?
Day you could walk without shooting pain in your back. All because you took the first step and had surgery at Laser Spine Institute, the experts in outpatient minimally invasive neck and back surgery. All it takes is an incision less than 1 inch and you'll be up and walking within a few hours of surgery, and there is no lengthy recovery. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic conditions, call today for a free MRI review.
I woke up in recovery and there was absolutely no pain at all. It's amazing. Now I can get on the bike, I can go anywhere. Laser Spine Institute gave me my life back. I'm still going strong today because of it.
If you've been told you might need neck or back surgery, call 255-599-STEP for a free MRI review.
Go from a life of pain to a lifetime of living. Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery.
Guys, don't spend Valentine's Day in line and run the risk of a disappointed sweetheart. Instead, visit ProFlowers.com now, and during this Valentine's Day TV offer, get 50% off these 12 beautiful roses, elegant vase, and personalized greeting, all for just $19.99. Or impress her even more with this deluxe special, a dozen classic red roses, plus premium ruby vase, gourmet chocolates, and luxurious spa trio, all for just $20 more. To take advantage of these amazing offers, just click on the blue mic in the upper right corner, enter code EXTRA, and save 50%. With on-time delivery and a 7-day freshness guarantee, it's no wonder J.D. Power awarded ProFlowers highest in customer satisfaction.
With ProFlowers, it's going to be a beautiful bouquet of flowers every time.
ProFlowers is always over-delivered on the quality, on cost, and most importantly, the smiles.
Remember, click on the blue mic, enter code EXTRA, and save 50%, or call 1-800-FRESHEST now.
This is Joe Wood's first day of work, and his new boss told him 2 things. Cook what you love, and save your money. Joe doesn't know it yet, but he'll work his way up from busser, to waiter, to chef, before opening a restaurant specializing in fish and game from the Great Northwest. He'll start investing early. He'll find some good people to help guide him, and he'll set money aside from his first day of work to his last, which isn't rocket science. It's just common sense. From TD Ameritrade.
Well, the Northeast now is getting its turn to this storm a day after a deadly winter storm pummeled the southern U.S. with ice and sleet and snow. Some live pictures now from Philadelphia. Forecast there. It's not good, frankly. If you do not have to be outside, don't do it. Folks could see about a foot of snow. Rick Leventhal is checking things out. He's live in Philly now. What's it like now? Rick, good morning.
And Bill, most people heeded that advice. There's a heavy snow coming down now. It was mixing with ice pellets earlier. Streets virtually deserted here. They already have about 9 inches of snow that fell at Philadelphia International Airport. That's the 4th time this winter they've had at least 6 inches or more. That's the first time that's ever happened in the history of Philadelphia. And we'll give you a look at Market Street here. This is normally a very busy thoroughfare, but as you can see, it's virtually empty except for a bus, a few buses and some other work vehicles. Got a similar event here this time around, Bill, but so far just a few dozen outages reported. That could change, though.
If you go to the west, probably 10 miles, 20 miles, I mean, the snow there in Pennsylvania might be a lot thicker than it is in Philadelphia if you look at the storm pattern.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's causing a lot of problems on the roads, as you might imagine. In fact, the Pennsylvania Turnpike actually shut down or restricted access to trucks. Empty tractor trailers and double tractor trailers are being prohibited from using the Pennsylvania Turnpike in certain sections. They reduced the speed limit to 45 miles an hour. And you can see why. The roads are really thick with snow and ice. They've been working to try and clear them, but there's a bottom layer here that's really, really messy. And the airport has already canceled 800 flights, Bill. 70% of operations today are already canceled. The couple of runways there are open. They are moving some planes in and out, but it's a very, very rough day. And it's going to continue like this, they tell us, throughout the day into the night. It might warm up. We might get some rain mixed in, but then it's going to turn to ice and snow again tonight.
Yeah, you don't want that ice, indeed, again. I mean, the story is the same in Washington and Philadelphia, here in New York as well. So we'll check in with you a bit later. Thank you, Rick. Rick Leventhal in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Utility crews are working around the clock to try to turn the lights back on, the heat back on for people down south. This is a live look at Atlanta. That's our affiliate WAGA driving around trying to survey the damage. It looks pretty, but the roads are really in tough shape and a lot of folks are without power. A state of emergency is in effect in northern Georgia, one of the hardest hit areas that we've seen so far. All told, more than 500,000 homes and businesses are in the dark right now. You've got more than 200,000 of them in Georgia alone. Here on the phone to give us an update is Georgia Power spokesman John Kraft. John, welcome. I know you guys are busy with all of this, so we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today. How's it going?
Hi, glad to be here. It's been a rough couple of days, but we're making progress. We're turning lights back on, but we still have a good ways to go.
How many people would you say you've been able to restore power to, and how many roughly are still out?
It's a good question. I'm just looking at an updated figure. It looks like we've restored power now in about the last 25 hours when we saw the outages really starting to pick up. We've restored power now to about 267,000 customers in the past 24, 25 hours.
That's impressive. Now, how long do you think it'll be before everybody's power's back on? Because the folks who are still in the dark, that's all they care about at this point.
Absolutely. We still have about 240,000 customers left to get back on, assuming we don't continue to get some new outages. And we are continuing to see some new outages where these heavy ice-laden trees will get some wind and another tree will fall, and it's back to the drawing board for that area that happens in. So it's hard to say until we really see the new outages stop. We'll certainly continue working on this for the next 24 hours, and then we'll have to see where we are at that point.
Boy, it gets so frustrating for folks who don't have power, but those who are working to restore those power lines are working under some very tough conditions today. How are all of them holding up? What do you do to sort of fire everybody up to get this job done?
Right. Well, these are restoration professionals. These are people in the field that do this every day. They live to get lights back on. This is the kind of work that's really gratifying to them to be out there working and getting the lights back on. We have more than 3,000 workers from other states who have come to help us now, much like we go to other states to help after these types of events. So we really appreciate them coming to help, as well as our own teams out there. Important is to make sure they're working safe, they don't get overtired, get them some rest, get them a hot meal, and get them back out there for another day of restoration.
John, how do you compare this experience with the mess that happened a couple of weeks ago?
Right. Here in Georgia, the event a couple of weeks ago did not end up having as much frozen rain or freezing rain, so it wasn't as big of a power event. We had very light outages during that. This one is a different animal completely. A lot of freezing rain, which the ice builds up on the lines, breaks the tree limbs, breaks the trees come over themselves. And,
John, just in terms of getting around, I'm looking at the roads from our live shot from WAGA right now, and it looks like people are moving along. Those who are out there on the roads, and it's not what we saw last time, with just, cars littered all over the highways and people abandoning them to walk home.
Right, and it seems like that's a different scenario this time too, both from preparation and advance warning, as well as the work of our state DOT and our emergency management officials seem to be doing a great job with that. The storm hit in different areas as well, so all types of factors went into making these storms different.
Yeah, well, good for you guys. Keep up the good work, and I know you're trying really hard to get everybody's power back on there. Sean, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And we'll see how we do up here with our power in the coming 24 hours. Thanks, John.
Looks like they got a redo there in Atlanta.
Yeah, they got it
based on the storm of 2 weeks ago. That's Atlanta, Georgia. Here is Washington, D.C. It's beautiful in the snow, isn't it?
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, federal offices in Washington are closed for the day. The White House briefing was canceled, so things are going to move a little bit slowly as we start to, well, see how bad it is in the end, how intense it gets in the end, and then how long it takes us to dig out of it. So
I'm really relieved that the briefing's not happening, right? One less day to answer questions.
I was thinking the storm started down in Texas.
Yeah.
And then they had problems in Arkansas, and then they got worse in Alabama, worse in Georgia, worse in South and North Carolina, now up the coast here.
Would you like to go back out and put your cap back on and see how things are going?
Maybe in 21 minutes. I'm looking forward to that. All right. Here now, your Sochi spoiler alert. If you do not want to know, now's the time to get a second cup of coffee.
I'm going to go get a second cup of coffee.
Here we go, McCallum. Here we are. It is a sweep, folks. USA taking the entire podium in the men's free ski style competition, led by 22-year-old Josh Christensen taking home the gold. Gus Kenworthy, the silver, Nick Gepper with the bronze. That sweep only the third for the U.S. in Winter Olympic history. Well done, guys.
Yeah.
Really nice job.
Great job.
Also, talk about a Cinderella story. Meet America's new snowboarding champ. That's Caitlin Ferry. Count Norway still on top. Team USA climbing back now. We're number 2 with 12 overall medals and plenty of competition still to come in Sochi. We should send some of this snow over to Russia.
Right? It's 60 degrees.
I mean, some of these pictures from over there look downright tropical.
I know. It looks like they're in the middle of winter, but they're not. It's 60. Can you imagine? I'm surprised they're not skiing in shorts over there.
They probably could.
Yeah, they probably could. All right, well, the White House touting some good news on the Obamacare front today as more people are signing up. So we're going to tell you what you need to know about the whole story there. Will they hit their goal that is needed to get enough money into this thing to make it work?
Also, a huge lawsuit filed against the NSA and our government virtually on behalf of all Americans. What Senator Rand Paul says you need to know.
There's a huge and growing swell of protest in this country of people who are outraged that their records would be taken without suspicion, without a judge's warrant, and without individual